kilometers, 30 kilometers, 80 kilometers radius of the country, depending on the direction of the wind and depending on the speed. So we have this regulatory requirement in place that we need to look at what the operators are giving to us, because we need to do safety evaluation review of the reports submitted to us. So as a regulatory agency, we rely on NIMET's data for, to be able to see if actually what the operators are giving to us is correct. So that at the end of the day, we are interested in the safety of life, property, and environment of the Nigerian space.
So, a round of applause, sir. Thank you so much. Do you have a climate desk, sir?
Sorry?
Do you have a climate desk?
Do you have?
A climate desk in your office?
Well, I would like to say that when we send the first set of staff to embark on fellowship program on how to review siting applications for nuclear power plants, they came back and made recommendations to the authority that we need meteorologists, and also we need to have a meteorological data or facility in our space, so that we can also look at what the operators is giving to us, and we can look at our data and compare them. Now, we made that recommendation, and it was noted that we need to have people with relevant experience in meteorology that will be able to look at such data and interpret. Somebody said here that there was a request made, and it was just having data, and he didn't know how to interpret it. So we want to be an intelligent regulator that will be able to know the data submitted and how to be able to evaluate it. So already we are building, a team in the organization that will comprise of these experts, both in the hydrology side, the meteorology, the geological survey, the geotechnicalist, and all those. So we have a team already that we are working on. And we have signed MOU with the NIMET so that we can be able to work in collaboration to ensure the safety of Nigerian space as regards to nuclear radiological emergencies.
I do not wish to take much time with you, but you are so engaging. If I get you right, you sign in, you are in for having an in-house metrology according to your recommendations. Is that what you're trying to say? Is that correct?
Please, if you can speak louder.
Yes, it's my mic. I'm trying to speak. I'm sure the engineer will do something to that. Okay, if I get you right, sir, you are in to having an in-house metrology to help you take the data, interpret them, and advise you appropriately, if I'm correct.
What I'm trying to say is this, that in the construction operation of nuclear power plant in the country, the operators, the operating organization, who gets radiological data or meteorological data from NIMET, okay? And we need to also have, a nucleus of staff who are knowledgeable in interpreting meteorological data, so that whatever is submitted to us, we will be able to look at it. Not just you give us a document and we say submitted. We need to look at those documents. We need to, interpret it. For instance, I once attended a program for the stakeholders of nuclear power plants, and I was discussing with my friend here, and one of the staff from NIMET presented a data which had 12 quadrants. And in nuclear power plant, we need up to 16 quadrants. That is 22.5 degrees apart. So I now ask a question that this is international requirements for meteorological data for nuclear power plants. And it is now that I understood that, that they can actually rearrange it for us to have, to meet the requirement, the international requirements. So what we are trying to say in essence is that we are not taking over your job. We are just trying to say we need to have people in our institution who will be able to look at your data and see that it is correct, it is complete, before we can accept it.
Thank you so much.
Observation, President. Who have questions?
Just let's finish with them on round. Then just write those questions out, please. We'll take them when it's time for the general question, please. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, Mrs. King Omolara from the ministry. Can you tell us how I had a brief conversation with you, and you said the people you would like to talk to are not here. Can you tell us the people you would like to talk to and what you want to tell them?
Thank you very much. I probably said that because I said that based on the conversation we were having. It is very interesting and important to note that every one of us is impacted one way or the other by the environment, irrespective of who you are, irrespective of what you do. I said that based on my area of the angle I am responsible for. We regulate the oil and gas and the midstream and downstream petroleum sector. I said to you earlier that it would have been better if you focused on the people in the HSC department of each of these companies, because they are the ones who are responsible for monitoring the environment. And there's what we do quarterly. It's called environmental compliance monitoring. Before you establish your company, we will do EIA, environmental impact assessment. Then after 5 years, depending on the cadre you operate on, we will do environmental evaluation studies. Then 4 times every year, we do environmental compliance monitoring. Then you are also expected to submit a report to us every month with reports of your air quality and water quality. So they engage consultants who run these services for them. What I would encourage NIMET and this body to do is to find a way to incorporate, to make sure that the consultants have the secure permit from this body. If you want to be a consultant to any IOC, any operator in the sector, we would now ask you, before you can be a consultant, let me see your permit from NIMET. Let me see this, let me see that. Let me see, there's something we do, it's called a toolbox assessment. Before you go into the field, we ensure that your equipments are well calibrated, they are functional. But we cannot come and, we cannot from our position come and force that on operators. So I remember our guy representing the DG said earlier on that an act was signed by the former President Buhari that every organization, whether public or private, must have a climate desk once you employ more than 50 people. I believe this will go a very long way in ensuring and enforcing some things. Let me say this to you. All these organizations, daily, they take records of these things. But whether the people who do it are qualified to do it, I cannot tell. But you see the record every day. I can interpret the record. If I see your air quality record data, I can tell, okay, this is the amount of hydrogen sulfide in the environment. Is it below the acceptable limit? Is it under? Based on that, I will make my recommendation. I also know that, as simple as it sounds, the wind direction has a very big role to play, especially in the area of the oil and